ladies and gentlemen, this is a new BSC sit down. We come to you with really sad hearts. With me today is our co-founders, not just one, but both of the co-founders of our Instagram, Cal and Jaden. How are you guys doing today?
Doing pretty good. How are you doing?
Good, good. Well, it would be better. It would be better if we knew that Jack Eichel was staying in Buffalo. Unfortunately, it doesn't really seem like that's gonna happen. Okay. Today, there are Sabres interviews with the media, the last interviews with the media before they just head off to wherever they're going for the offseason. And once again, Eichel's comments grabbed the headlines. He said, I don't want to get these wrong. He said, quote, for right now, for me, I think the most important thing is just trying to get healthy and figure out a way to be available to play hockey next year, wherever that might be. What do you guys think about those couple of words right there?
It's disgusting. I mean, obviously, Eichel has been a huge part of this team since he got here. Some negative ways, some positive ways, but he's a superstar. And when he's playing at the best of his ability, he's a top 10 player in the league. And to hear someone say that of that magnitude, like that pretty much proves right there. If things don't change quick, he's gone. He's getting traded.
And Jaden?
Yeah, I mean, I'll add on to that. I mean, he's talking about like his surgery that he wants to get, and he's basically saying that he can't get it because of his contract and the team won't let him. And I just can't believe that. I mean, that's your star player, and you won't let him get healthy. I mean, what's the point of that?
What's the point of sitting him if you won't give him the surgery he needs? It's a friggin' herniated disc. You need that. He was not the same player. It's not like something you can just walk off, as Rob Ray would say. Just, keep playing with it. Come on. You can't just drop your stick and not try. You got to keep playing. But he said a little more after that. He said, quote, with my injury, there has been a little bit of, I guess, one side, my own camp on one page and the team on another. That's been tough. We're kind of going back and forth a bit on the best way to go about it. Treatment. So there's been a few conversations, but more so just getting healthy and moving forward.
Yeah. This part just frustrates me the most. How are you an organization, leadership, ownership, GM, how do you look at your star player? He's going to sit out anyway. Why would you not get him this surgery? This surgery would make him a quicker turn. They said it would be, I just don't get it.
And I mean, you look back to last season too. I mean, Sabres were in a similar position. Tage Thompson got hurt probably around December, January. It was a regular season, so it didn't end until like April-ish. And they wait until like February or March for him to get surgery, and then he misses the whole season. I just don't get how you let it happen again with someone as good as Eichel.
Yeah, and this is just mismanagement. I don't know if it's the doctor's fault or if it's Kevin Adams who is ordering these, or even the Pagulas, for all we know. But either way, this is not a good look. Number one, for Eichel, he looks like a crybaby during this. And number two, the Sabres are once again an inept organization. There's nothing new on that front. So if I'm surprised that we expected anything else other than ineptitude in this organization, because that's all they've given us for 10 years now. And what do you think about these Eichel comments? Is there a real future in Buffalo for Jack Eichel?
As of right now, I don't see it at all. I mean, this situation not only hurts Eichel's value, it not only hurts the Sabres organization, it hurts us getting free agents, because players on the outside, free agents looking in, they're like, Buffalo's a bad team, but maybe they got something going. They got these young guys. This just makes them look horrible. Why would you want to go to a team that doesn't handle injuries correctly, that doesn't care about their players, and quite honestly cares more about the Bills than the Sabres, and it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and I mean, I can see this going one of two ways. I mean, they either hold on to him because they're scared to make another O'Reilly trade and get absolutely destroyed by another team because Adams doesn't know what he's doing, or they can trade him and then go into another rebuild.
I can't see myself sticking as a fan if they go into another rebuild, to be quite honest. We've dealt with this. All three of us and many more across Buffalo and the world have experienced what it's like to go through a failed rebuild and then a rebuild inside of a rebuild and then a rebuild inside of that rebuild, which is inside of the original rebuild. Like, they can't keep doing this and expect their fans to wave the dollars and buy tickets and buy merch and anything and watch the games. Last season, we saw a dip, a big dip in TV ratings for the Sabres. It went from like 7.1 Nielsen rating down to a 4, which is awful. That's almost a 50% drop. And they can't expect those numbers to get any better, especially if the Eichel is traded out of town.
Yeah, if you lose Eichel, those attendance rates are going to go near zero. I mean, we went to games before COVID last year, and even then, there were half the arena was filled with the away fans, and half the arena was kids. They're putting on a show for kids. They got a DJ there playing the popular pop songs. When in actuality, the fans want pump up music. They want to get hype, but it's not. It's a laughing stock, and that's what they're putting on. It's a performance for kids, and that's what they're doing, and it's a joke.
Yeah, DJ Milk, you are a joke, my friend.
Oh.
Boy. And you're absolutely right. The Pagulas and this team and this rebuild has killed atmosphere within the Sabres arena. I remember going to 1 or 2 games, and you're right. 16,000 people a game. Whole entire upper bowl was empty. It was essentially empty. The corners, even in lower bowl, empty.
No.
It's just been eroding. This has been happening for the last 7 or so years. And it's not going to get any better until the Sabres start winning. And the Pagulas, they don't have what the Bills have. The Bills, they're football. They've always been here. And even when they suck, fans went in droves. That doesn't happen with the Sabres. You know why? Because at least with the Bills, there was some hope. With the Sabres, I could start pointing at different figures and policies that they have, and there is nothing that makes me optimistic about the future. What about you, Jane? Are you optimistic at all about anything?
I mean, honestly, there's a few young players here, like Dylan Cousins, that you can have some hope about them, but I think at some point, even the Pagulas have to say, all right, what we're doing isn't working. We gotta just let someone else run the team.
I'm surprised they haven't come to that realization yet. Their tenure, even when they were with the Bills, when they stepped back from the Bills, guess what happens? Shit happens. It's really good. It's really good. Same thing has to happen at the Sabres in downtown Buffalo in order for the Sabres to thrive. Because, I'm sorry, Pagulas, you seem like decent people, but you know nothing about sports. You know nothing about football or hockey. So stop meddling. I don't know. It's anything else you guys want to say about this?
I mean, I'll add on to Jaden's point about Dylan Cousins. I see Dylan Cousins as a great prospect. He's going to be good one day. I see Casey Middlestat, Tage Thompson. But are any of them going to be as good as Eichel is? I think we all can agree, no. Unless something magical happens, no. Are any of our prospects, even Jack Quinn, you could add in there, even Olmark, if we keep him, are any of those players going to be as star talented as Eichel? No. If you lose Eichel, you have to replace him immediately with a star, or else your franchise is going to tank and it's going to do horrible. And Sam Reinhart, even if you lose him and Eichel, you're not going to have a team. You don't have a team. It's disgusting.
I mean, just last offseason, we were thinking we didn't have the center depth, so we go out, we get Eichel back, we get Reinhart back, and then we bring in Eakin, and then we're maybe Middlestat or Cousins. I mean, we could be going into next year with Cousins as our first line center, and then who knows after him.
Oh boy.
We have Rasmus Asplund as our second center.
What a turn of events. Just this offseason, we're thinking Taylor Hall's here. We're going to have 2 legitimate lines, maybe a third one. I'm not going to say the young kids didn't develop well. They did amazing. Casey Middlestat took steps I didn't think I'd ever see. But at this point, I'm thinking we might just run a kid line out there as our first line. I was thinking that'd be our third line next year. So it's a joke.
It is a joke. You guys are absolutely right. And it wasn't the young kids that failed the Sabres this season. It was the supposed NHL vets and players with experience. Taylor Hall failed. Eric Stahl failed. Jeff Skinner failed. Jack Eichel even failed. They all failed. Guess who didn't? Guess who stepped up? Sam Reinhart stepped up. He turned himself into a leader. Casey Middlestat, Tage Thompson, they all turned into leaders. Dylan Cousins, he actually fought for this team. It was good to see someone that played like they had the crest of the team on their front of their sweaters. Like we haven't seen that in about 7 years.
These guys just don't care. They skate around, they get the job done, and then they go home. They could care less about their teammates. And that's where you see Dylan Cousins, a young guy, come in. He said he knew he was going to get into a fight. He wants to fight for this city. He wants to fight for this team. And other players like Cody Eakin, for example, he's skating around, having a jolly good time, doing nothing, getting back to his hotel, probably, watching cartoons. I don't know what he's doing. That's what this team is. It's built full of losers. We need winners. We need aggressors, and that's where ownership, GM, and coaching comes into play.
Yeah.
I mean, again, you came into the season thinking that you could realistically have a good team that would be playing Carter Hutton some nights, Matt Irwin, Brandon Davidson. I mean, who thought that was going to work?
Kevin Adams.
Ralph Kruger and Kevin Adams, dynamic duo.
The best. They're just the best. And now that we know that Eichel is probably going to leave, and it's only a matter of days or months, probably until July 1st, what do you guys think a potential return for him could look like?
Knowing this team, a second round pick. No, but actually, you gotta get two young players who have good potential. You got to get a guy, I'd say, on the caliber of a Skinner on a pretty good year, like a Reinhart, and then you got to get a first round pick. And if you don't get that, Eichel's under contract. You have to keep him. Don't force him out of Buffalo like you did Ryan O'Reilly, because we saw how that did, and it didn't work out at all.
Yeah, I would think that. I mean, maybe you grab Max Domi in a second round pick. No, in all seriousness, I mean, I think you got to grab some picks. You got to grab even someone close to Eichel. If you can do that, you got to do it, because you can't just keep rebuilding every year.
Agree. And is there any potential teams that you guys have in mind?
I've heard the Rangers and Kings, but right now I'm not happy with any of the mock trades I'm seeing at all. I mean, as a Sabres fan, obviously I'm going to be a little biased and want a better return, but I've seen Eichel at what he can do, and I've seen what he could bring to this team. And if we're going to get, like Jaden said, Max Domi in a second, that's a waste of time. I'd rather sit him on the bench than do that trade, to be honest.
Yeah, and I've also seen the Flyers as a team out there, and I saw a Ducks trade earlier that was something along the lines of a first-round pick, Zegras, another center, and a right-shot defenseman. It's an okay return, but it's not going to match what Eichel gives you.
They may cumulatively match Eichel, but none of them will individually get to what Eichel was. Maybe Zegras. I can see Drysdale being a really decent top 4 defenseman in the league, but both of them are probably a year or two away from really being anything in the NHL. And unfortunately, the Sabres don't have another year or two. They're already in a 10-year playoff drought with failed trades and failed signings. They can't, like you said, they can't keep rebuilding every year, because it won't change anything. And what are you guys' closing statements on this? Because it's been a really hectic day and a sad day if you're a Sabres fan.
Well, let's just say this. I have 2 jerseys right now from current players. I had Eichel and Skinner. And, it pains me to say that there's a chance next year neither of them are on the team. So, might be in the market for buying a new jersey. That's my final statement.
I mean, I would just have to say, I'm interested to see Adams' press conference on Wednesday. I really hope that he gets some real questions from the reporters, and hopefully he's got a good explanation for all this.
Yeah. And I would just like to say how I'm the smarty in the room, and when I buy Sabres jerseys, I don't buy them with names on the back or numbers on the back, just knowing what will happen. That was great. Thank you guys so much for watching this very, 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 very fun BSC sit down. I was Don, this was Cal, and this was Jaden. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Check out a couple of our other videos on the channel, and also check for our Discord and our Instagram in the description below. These guys work very hard on both of those. So thank you guys so much for watching. See y'all in the next